Hey everyone, John Sonmez from SimpleProgrammer.com, and today I thought I'd do something a little bit different and actually talk about another topic that I'm pretty passionate about that's really a big part of my life, which is fitness. So what I wanted to do today is just give you some real quick advice, some tips that you can utilize in your own life in order to be able to start to get in shape and just to weed through some of the crap that you hear about fitness and health that's out there. There's a lot of people that are selling things, that are making up stuff, that are feeding on your desire to look for a quick and simple way to get in shape and to, for most of us, lose fat or lose weight. Now, I'll tell you from the start that there is no such thing. There's no magic pill, there's no magic drug, there's no magic diet, there's no magic exercise plan. It's going to take hard work, it's going to take dedication, and it's going to take time. But if you're willing to put in those things, and especially time is the most critical component, being consistent over time, you will achieve some success. But let me give you some tips that are going to help you to achieve that success. So number one, the most important thing, by far, beyond anything else, is diet. If you want to lose weight especially, you need to get your diet correct. You don't even have to exercise. You can lose a lot of weight just by controlling your diet. Now, any kind of crazy extreme diet, doing something where you're not eating any carbohydrates, or you're doing some kind of extreme thing, or only eating raw foods or whatever, that's not going to do it. None of those things are going to work because they're not going to be sustainable. Some of them might have some benefit in the long term, but mostly it's going to come to the simple fact of how many calories are you eating, and then what type of calories are those, simply because it's going to determine whether or not you're able to generate muscle and also whether or not you're still hungry. Now, if you eat a lot of junk foods that are high in calories, we call these calorie-dense foods, then you're going to be hungry. You're going to have to eat a lot more of those to fill up your stomach. But if you eat foods like vegetables that are not so calorie dense, and whole foods, unprocessed foods, instead of doing pasta, you're eating baked potatoes, or preferably even a sweet potato, things like that are slow digesting carbs or high quality carbohydrate sources, you're going to have a lot more food that you can eat for the same amount of calories. So a good staple, a good just plain diet that if you look at a site like bodybuilding.com and look at people who have lost weight, you'll see that they're eating chicken, fish, broccoli, or some other kind of vegetable, oats, and things like sweet potato. And that's mainly what their diet is. So if you want a healthy diet, try to stick to those staples, and remember that diet is the most important thing. Number two is sustainability. So if you're going to get in shape, if you're going to do some kind of exercise program, it needs to be sustainable. If you think that you're going to run for 2 hours every day, that's not going to happen. First of all, you're not going to make it the first day because you got to build up to it. And second of all, you're not going to keep that up. If you think you're going to go to the gym for 2 hours a day, 7 days a week, not going to happen either. My plan is actually pretty simple. It might seem like a lot to a lot of people that aren't actually exercising, but I run 3 times a week, and then I lift 3 times a week, and my running takes about half an hour, and my lifting takes about an hour. So that's not a lot of hours. It's something that I can maintain and sustain, and I've done it for weeks and weeks and weeks, and I'll continue to do it because it's something I can do. But if you're just starting out, maybe just go for a walk, a 15-minute or 20-minute walk every day. Build a habit, build that pattern. Once you have that pattern going, add on a little bit more, and you'll eventually get to the point where you're actually doing something. You're actually seeing some changes. Third thing that I'm going to tell you is that you need to be lifting weights. Now, a lot of women and a lot of people that think that they don't want to gain a lot of mass will say, hey, I don't want to lift weights because I don't want to get big. You're not going to get big. Just lift weights. You're going to look better. You're going to feel better, and you're going to burn a lot more calories. When you have a bigger percentage of your body mass being muscle, guess what? Your body fat percentage is going to be lower because in comparison to the muscle that you have, the fat will be less. So you can actually reduce your fat, not the actual amount of it, but the relative amount of it by gaining a little bit of muscle. Well, hopefully that's helpful to you. Let me know if you like this type of video, if you want some more fitness type of tips, and you can check out my podcast at getupandcode.com. I have a weekly podcast where I specifically talk to programmers and software developers, but really anyone could listen to this podcast and gain some valuable fitness information. It's co-hosted by Iris Klason, and together we talk about a lot of different fitness topics. So leave me a comment, let me know what you thought of this video, and let me know if there's any specific topics or questions you have about fitness. Maybe I'll do another fitness video and answer some of those questions. Alright, well, if you like this video, don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and I'll talk to you next week.
I know you're feeling tired, but you gotta hang on.